Hi Taurus, welcome to your Oracle of Love for Singles. Who's coming towards you? General tarot reading. Taurus, who's coming towards you? Okay, the Queen of Swords. Need I say it again? There's an air sign that's coming in, possibly a Gemini, Libra or Aquarius that's coming in around you. They're coming in quite strong. There's something about communication. It might not even be an air sign for some of you out there. For some of you Taurians, it could be someone else. So we'll explore which other signs it could be further. But I definitely feel for some of you, there's definitely a relationship that's taking place with this air sign. This could also indicate that there's communication coming in from a prospective partner. Again, it doesn't have to be an air sign. It can be someone else. But there's something about communication, or it's almost like you'll gain direction and you'll gain momentum, and this is how the two of you will meet. It could be something to do with communication. You might meet this person through a friend, or be introduced to this person, or you might speak with them, or might have already spoken to them somehow, Taurus. You might have already been in contact with this person or have had a conversation with this person already. So that's kind of exciting. I'm really intrigued though. I feel like air signs and earth signs have definitely been dancing around each other, and the fact that you keep coming up, especially for my readings, I feel it's kind of spooky. But look, it can be someone that is quite charismatic, very well presented, very well articulated, well educated, well spoken, well read, because the Queen of Swords is this sort of air energy. There's a youthfulness to this person. I think you will be very entertained and enamored by the way they speak, the way they present themselves. They're quite animated in the way they speak, which again I think will really entice you, Taurus. It's possibly something you haven't had before, but there's someone who has a lot of personality. It's someone that is quite confident, possibly works in the education sphere, in customer service, in client guest services, client operations. Their role could be customer-based or client-based, because they're very good at speaking and they use those skills in their workforce. It could even be in the legal system, teaching, psychology, something to do with words. It could even be a tarot reader that's coming in for some of you Taurians. I feel you'll have a lot of common interests with this person. Okay, you have the Hermit. This can be a Virgo that might be coming in. So for some of you, it's definitely a Virgo, possibly two people coming in here, an air sign and a Virgo. This person could be quite a bit of a lone figure when I look at these two cards here. I mean, they look like they're coming into each other here. So there could be duality about this person, because we see two figures coming in together. Again, this could be resonant of a Gemini, because they are ruled by the twins. They are ruled by duality. But it could also be a Virgo, yes. I think that there's quite an anxious energy to them. They could be a perfectionist. But I think they're quite contemplative. I think they definitely like their alone time, definitely like their solitude. They might not have a wide group of friends. I think they only have a few select friends, and that's it. They sort of stick within that circle. They might not be completely, over social, and I think this will attract you, Taurus, because you can be a bit of a homebody and you can enjoy those really nice intimate nights alone together with loved ones, and I think this person can relate to you in that sense, which is good. They might have a business of some sort with the Hermit card and the Queen of Swords. Again, it could be in spirituality, tarot, astrology in particular, or a self-governing business, or perhaps a really, really autonomous role. Or perhaps they might go into this when you start dating or talking to this person. You'll realize that they're venturing out into starting their own business, or they're being promoted into a more autonomous role, where they might have more accountability. But it's also someone that could be potentially conflicted with what they want to do in their life right now, because the Queen of Swords, the Hermit, it's sort of like the Queen of Swords is such an confident, accountable, aspirational energy, and then you have the Hermit, which is more closed off, reflective, withdrawn energy. So I feel there's a lot of duality about this person, and they could be undergoing these sort of conflicts right now, around the time that you meet, or maybe on an internal level they're going through these conflicts. Okay, the Queen of Wands, it could be a Leo, possibly a Sagittarius or Aries that's coming in here. A very strong sexual attraction to this person. I feel they're a lover of nature. They might have a pet, in particular a cat, or want pets. They're very much in admiration of nature. So they could even be like a landscape or a photographer of some kind. I think they have a lot of appreciation for nature, for the outdoors. They might be born a leader, so they may exude a lot of leadership skills in their work or just in their general day-to-day life. They have that ability to be a leader, because this superior energy of the Queens is coming up. So it does show that they have that ability, especially if they're a Leo. They're very nurturing and have that ability to lead and inspire and motivate people. Again, I feel like they like being outdoors with the Queen of Wands. They like movement. I don't think they can stick to the same thing for too long. I think they like to explore different things because they're coming up as the Queen of Wands. But, there's a certain openness. So I think they're very open to what's coming in. I think they're quite open-minded, whether that be just in their general day-to-day life. Maybe sexually they're quite open-minded. They're very open to what the universe has to give to them. So there's a lot of manifestation that's possibly happening around them, around the time that you come into their lives. I think they're definitely trying to attract you, trying to draw you in, Taurus, on some level. But very strong sexual attraction. They're quite sensual, actually. And they're very, very romantic. I feel like they're a hopeless romantic. Okay, the Justice card could be a Libra. We do have the scales here. We have the Queen of Swords. It could definitely be someone under the sign of a Libra. It's this air sign that's following you around. They could work in the legal system here with the Justice card. They could work with contracts in the judicial system, for the courts, administration, something to do with scales, maybe weight loss programs. Maybe they're currently losing weight, trying to look good, trying to balance out what's going on in their lives. Maybe they're undergoing a court case of some kind here. Or maybe around the time that you meet, they'll say to you, oh, look, I'm updating my taxes. I have to meet with the ATO. I need to meet with the IRS. I have a court case that's pending. I have a work OH&S, a work compensation case that's going on. And I think this circulating around this person, again, it could also be that they're just so big on equality, and that the two of you would be a very beautiful balance should you come together and have this wonderful relationship that could potentially come from this person here. Justice also speaks of karma. So there's a strong karmic link. They're definitely attracting you, Taurus. And this is something a little bit deeper here. This has been following you for quite some time. And it's almost like it's metaphysical, so it's something much higher. And this person is trying really, really hard to attract you on some level with the Justice card. But it's a very strong karmic connection. You're both deserving of each other in a really, really positive way. In the best positive way, you're both deserving of each other with the Justice card here. Okay, the Two of Pentacles has flipped over, so we'll take that out. Two of Pentacles, something about a balancing act. Sacrifices possibly need to be made, compromising to be together, something about possibly two different people coming in here. It could be the Virgo, Leo, Libra that you're choosing between, because this is you as the Pentacles, and it could be that you are weighing up the pros and cons, which one is more suited, which one can give you more commitment, loyalty, which one is more compatible for you. So there could be two separate people here, or they have a lot coming in around them, whether they're juggling a lot. They could be juggling holidays, or they could be in two minds about taking a holiday. We do see the ship. The ship is denotive of journeys, new adventures, holidays, relocations. So at this point in time, they could be in two minds about maybe relocating somewhere to a different country, to a different city, to a different work. There are definitely a lot of things hang in the balance for them. So this could be They might even have two different people coming in around them around the time that you meet them as well. That's possible too. Again, it could be this role where they sort of balance out people's options. So whether it is to do with travel and tourism and they compare quotes, whether they look after certain reports of some kind here, whether they help to restore balance and harmony in the community, maybe they do that. Maybe with their words, maybe they're a mediator of some kind. That's also possible. Okay, the Two of Swords. This is beautiful. This has come up for a few of the signs, but the Two of Swords is a beautiful energy of that the two of you are aligning very, very nicely. Again, the swords are coming up, so it's almost like the energies are telling us that an air sign is definitely in your path or coming in around you or trying to manifest you, trying to attract you or bring you in for commitment. But I think for the most part, you're at very similar stages in your life. And look, it doesn't have to be an air sign. If it is a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or a Virgo, then you're aligning very nicely together. You're both on the same path. You'd both make a good team, because the Two of Swords in this deck, in this Egyptian deck, is all about solid collaborations and your frequencies lining up. It's also about friendship, protection, guidance, and it's almost like you two work better as a team. So this is a very strong, and mentally you're on the right path. You're in the right headspace for a long-term relationship together. Okay, the Hermit. Hermit's come up twice. Strong Virgo coming in for some of you that you're potentially meant to be with, potentially aligning with and collaborating with. So that's come up twice here. Could even be two different Virgos that are coming in. Or this person might be a mix of Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, and Virgo. But in particular, I see more air and earth energy with a hint of Leo. So they might have, they might be a Gemini sun or and a Virgo rising or something. There's potentially something to this person with the elements here. But again, spiritual, they need that guidance, spiritual guidance or spiritual awakening. So I think that's going on around them. I think there's a strong notion here that they've been single for quite some time. It's come up twice. So I feel like they haven't been in a relationship anytime in their recent past. I think they've been concentrating on work, maybe studies with the Queen of Swords. Maybe they're still at university. They're possibly still studying, waiting to balance out their lives somehow. Okay, so we've had two cards flip over. So let's start with the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is all about payment, equality, again about balance, generosity. There's a lot of things that they're doing for themselves, I think. There's a kindness to them. Again, something about charity or kindness, Taurus. So you may meet this person through charity. It could be a charity. It could be a charity event. It might have been overseas. It could have been a sponsorship program for a gala night or a ball, or maybe your company was doing this. With the Six, it's all about funds and equality. This could also be the nature of their job, that they help people financially, or they're in a position to help people financially and help bring back that balance we spoke about. So it could be financial imbalance. They could work in this sort of division. Followed by the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is about movement. It's about movement into embarking on an emotional journey, embarking on something new. We see the boat of Ra here, but it's about taking, moving out of certain air energies here. So moving out of certain thoughts. I don't know if something has happened with this person here. Maybe it's loneliness. Maybe there's been a lack of imbalance. Maybe they've been single for so long, but this is about to change for them, and I think you might be the ones to come in and change that. The Six of Swords can denote that this person comes from a different country to you. They could be foreign. There is a boat here. You might meet somewhere near boats, or you might meet on a trip You might even go on a trip, Taurus, and it might be that you both meet on a trip. You're both in a different country or a different state or province, and you sort of meet. But there is something about movement here, so I feel like this person could be bilingual, could come from overseas, could have that energy around them as they're coming up as a Six of Swords. Again, this shows that they're something about sadness and leaving this behind, possibly, because they have the Hermit twice. I think they might live with a lot of maybe pain or hurt somewhere. I don't think it has anything to do with relationships, though. I think there's a certain sadness. You know, maybe something's happened in their childhood or when they were growing up, or maybe in their recent past that's hurt them. It could be that they're very much dominated by air, so their thoughts absolutely rule them. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do have maybe they have a lot of air energy in their chart, in their moon sign, in their Mercury. You know, they're very much dominated by their thoughts, and their thoughts are quite powerful for them. They dictate very much how this person feels. They're very influential over their thoughts. But look, it could also be that they commute or they travel to work as well. They have a certain movement around them. Okay, that card's sticking out. Okay, the Emperor. I feel like it's very hard for you to get to this person with the Emperor. If they're exuding this energy, I'm not sure if they might have given you the cold shoulder before, Taurus, or there might have been a reason why you couldn't approach this person, or they couldn't approach you, because with the Emperor, it's almost like they're a very hard figure to get to. The Emperor is someone that's very important, can be seen as someone that's quite cold or quite stubborn or set in their ways, isn't easily accessible, is what I'm getting with these cards here. So it's either they may act this way sometimes, maybe they have been acting this way towards you, or maybe you haven't had the opportunity to talk to them and really get to know them, Taurus, because there's just been some sort of barrier here. Something's come up with the Emperor. I mean, the Emperor in the Rider-Waite deck is seen as an Aries, so maybe this person is an Aries, definitely reinforced by the Queen of Wands here. So this person could have that Aries energy with them. Maybe it's stubbornness that's coming through. Maybe it's stubbornness that's the reason why you haven't been able to connect together. But I also feel like this person might be... it's almost like you might come together as a power couple. This person may be quite influential or have be quite well known for what it is that they do. They might have a large following actually, and it might take them overseas, or something to do with the way you meet potentially. You could meet somewhere where there's a lot of either celebrities around, famous people connecting in that way. With the Emperor card, a lot of influential people, whether it's work partners, work colleagues, work superiors. It's somewhere where there's a lot of, it's either very regal establishment, a very nice venue, or you have this sort of very important people around you when you do meet. So I think it's through a friend, or it's through a trip of some kind, or an introduction somehow. But let's have a look into this person's past relationship, when they were last seeing someone or when they were last coupled up with someone. What was their previous relationship like? What was it lacking, and what are they looking for this time around from their previous relationship? Okay, it's almost like this card wants to come out. Okay, Seven of Swords. I feel like they were deceived. It could have been it was them. They might have been doing the deceiving. There could have been someone that was very dishonest with them. There definitely could have been cheating involved. They might have been cheated on. I feel as though there was a lot of secrecy. There was a lot of things kept in the dark in their previous relationship with their previous partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, or significant other. I feel as though they almost had to tiptoe. Look, it just seems as though there wasn't honesty. Possibly cheating for this air sign, possibly them cheating or someone cheating on them. I think it's more on them though. I almost feel like someone was very sneaky. Their partner might have been, their ex-partner might have been quite sneaky, and maybe that's why they've become the hermit. They've just withdrawn from dating. They've withdrawn from that sort of scene because they were hurt, or they just, gave up. They just thought, if this is what it consists of, I don't want it. So perhaps that's the reason why they've been single. There's been a lot of dishonesty, a lot of insincerity, I think, from their previous relationship. It might have even been built on lies. Something doesn't feel very authentic about it with the Seven of Swords. I think whoever they were seeing, Taurus, is just, I'm sorry, but not a very good person. With the Seven of Swords, a lot of obstacles in the relationship. It just, possibly other people were involved. Okay, Seven of Cups. A lot of things were up in the air in the relationship. There wasn't any label to the relationship. It was possibly like, well, where are we? Where do we stand? There was a lot of things that were just swirling around, and nothing was cemented. Nothing was set in stone. I think this person that's coming in for you, Taurus, I think they wanted the idea of love. They wanted to manifest. The Seven of Cups is all about manifestation and working towards things we want, using the law of attraction to manifest love and partnerships and relationships, etc. But it's almost like this person manifested someone who wasn't good for them. I think they were in a relationship predominantly because they liked the idea, Taurus, because they liked the companionship, they liked the idea, they wanted that label. However, it wasn't meant to be. A lot of things were up in the air. There was a lot going on. I don't think this person they were with, their ex, was relationship quality at all. And they were just completely dishonest. Okay, Seven of Wands. A lot of disharmony. It's almost like this person, Taurus, had to constantly report what they were doing. Maybe their ex was quite protective, quite jealous, overbearing, and it's almost like they needed to be in a position where they had to defend themselves. We see this person here, and he just feels he's on his own. He might have had all these accusations, all these wands, but he's here and firm and, trying to defend himself. So maybe they were accused of cheating, or someone did the cheating and they just weren't having it, I think their ex-partner might have cheated and then accused them of something when really it was the ex-partner and they felt defensive. There's two sevens here. This relationship might have been 7 months ago, 7 years ago, I think, and you do have the 6. So it could have been a long time ago. Could even have been 6 years ago, but I think it was just a relationship that didn't work. There was a lot of accusations, and I think this stemmed from the ex-partner's insecurities, Taurus, and then whatever they felt insecure about, they would reprimand and accuse this person of doing the same thing, when in reality, I don't think it was anything close to that. I think this ex of theirs had a lot of insecurities, and there's a lot of confrontation. The Seven of Wands is all about being put on the spot. Lack of trust, I feel. And again, I think this stems from the ex-partner's lack of trustworthiness, lack of authenticity, and they started accusing this person of it, and it was not a very harmonious relationship. It might have been with a fire sign. We do have air here. Okay, the Six of Cups. It might have been a relationship they experienced when they were quite young and innocent. So there's sort of this notion that this relationship happened quite a while ago. They have been single for quite some time. And it's almost like they were still a child when they were still growing and they were still learning. They might have been really young when they had this sort of relationship, Taurus, but it's almost like they were still developing and still learning about themselves. Again, I think it might have started off really romantic. There is children here, so there might be children involved somehow in some capacity. They might have had children or might have known each other through families or through the community. They might have been talking about children. There could have been an unplanned or unexpected pregnancy that brought them together. But again, I think there was a lot of cheating. And for some, they might have only stayed together because they had children. They had a baby or a couple of children here. And to be civil, I think that's why they stayed with the relationship. So there's possibility that they had a couple of children or a child. But I think for the most part, this person is just, it's such a toxic relationship that they went through, Taurus, and it still resides within them. I don't think there's pain there, because I think with the children here, I definitely think they learnt from this relationship, because children are quite impressionable and influential, and they do learn. So that sort of concept of growth and development, it definitely taught them a lot of things, Taurus. That's for sure, with the Six of Cups. And I think they've blossomed. I think they're ready for a new relationship, Taurus. I think they want this type of romance. They want sentimentality. I think they sometimes get nostalgic about this relationship, but there's no feeling. They've put it in their past, and they know how much they've learnt from this relationship. So I don't think they care about this person anymore. I think they've totally moved away from them. But they are wanting a family. They are wanting children. Okay, Ten of Wands. It was a burdensome relationship. Again, this person might carry the thoughts of this person still, but again, it's not in a I miss you, I want to be with you way about their ex-partner. It's more like what a burden this relationship was. It took so much strenuous hard work. It took so much pushing and pulling and convincing, and in the end, it all fell apart because it just wasn't working. It wasn't meant to be, and nothing could put the two of them together, and eventually someone walked away. I have a feeling it's this person that's coming in for you. Took the initiative, walked away, just couldn't deal with the deceit, the lack of honesty, the uncertainty about where the relationship was going. This person their ex wasn't someone serious. Again, it's all about them just liking the idea. So what they're looking for in this relationship, Taurus, is stability. They are wanting a family. They want romance. They definitely want romance. They want someone that's quite thoughtful, and that doesn't mean you have to go out there and buy them all these luxury items. It's someone that's very thoughtful and generous, and you can definitely be that person, Taurus. You have that ability of, when you're so into someone, to spoil them above and beyond measure. And that's just not with physical, that's with, emotionally and mentally spoiling someone, and you have that capacity. So I think you'll really gel here. But they're definitely wanting a family. They're wanting romance. They're wanting sex and passion. And they want to grow with someone. So they want someone that is quite nurturing. They want someone who's definitely very affectionate in their relationships. And this deceit and lack of direction would be their biggest, would be your biggest obstacle when you're pursuing them. Because they've been deceived, they've been left in the dark, they've been cheated on, I feel, and they don't want that. And if they get any sign of that, Taurus, they'll leave. Because with the Seven of Cups here, they're definitely trying to manifest a mate. They're definitely trying to manifest this romance, this love, this family. Maybe they don't want a family right away, but they do want to feel giddy. They do want to feel childlike. They want to feel embraced and protected. And this is certainly something you can provide for them, Taurus. So they're manifesting, working towards this. And they don't want this burdensome relationship where you have to push and pull and nag at someone to care, or nag at someone to want to ask them to see them. It doesn't work that way for them. They've been there, they've done that. They know when they're appreciated. They know when someone's interested and when someone isn't. So keep that in mind. Let's have a look at your relationship and how the two of you will be and feel towards each other when you do come together for a relationship, Taurus. Should the two of you come together? Okay, one card has fallen out. Look, on the left-hand side, I wanted to do how this person would feel, and on the right-hand side, how you would feel. So look, the Strength card has come out for the person and how they'd feel towards you in this relationship, or how the relationship will be from the two of you. And I can say very confidently that for some of you, it is definitely a Leo that's coming in, Taurus, or it's someone that just has this ability to give you a lot of strength. Someone that's going to be affectionate, and someone that sees you as their pillar of strength. Someone that sees you as someone they can rely on through the good, through the bad. It's almost like you give them strength. You give them a sense of belonging. You give them the ability to love again and be loved. And I love that because the strength is all about perseverance. So there could be these sort of blockages or obstacles when the two of you come together. As I said, we did see the Emperor under here somewhere. Where was he? There he was. So there could be this sort of obstacle that the two of you might not, that, you know, this could be intimidation. This could be the fact that maybe other people are around, so you can't exactly go up to them in this environment. You can't exactly approach them straight away. But I think with time, with perseverance, with effort, especially when the two of you come together, there's a lot of strength here. So I feel there's a very solid partnership that will blossom between the two of you. And they'll definitely see you as the leader, as leading this relationship, taking the reins over. And I think they'll really appreciate that strength, giving each other strength, a very strong, solid foundation in relationships. They don't have to be a Leo, but this energy around them is really good. Two of Wands, beautiful collaboration here with the Two of Wands. This is a very strong and solid partnership that is being protected. We have the Eye of Horus, the royal regalia here. So this is a very potentially, it's almost like this person will feel like you're a power couple, or this person will see how compatible you are. They'll definitely notice your worth. It's a beautiful collaboration here. There could be someone else around this person at the time when you come into a relationship. I don't think they'll be dishonest with it though. I think you'll know about this person. It could be someone they work with. It could be, I don't think it's an ex, but it could be someone else that is maybe on a friend level but trying to pursue them, trying to come out of the friend zone possibly. But I love this. If this is how they feel about you, then they feel like things are progressing very nicely. The Wands are all about action and taking steps for a fulfilling and beautiful relationship. And if this is any indication of how they'll feel about you, Taurus, they'll definitely feel things are moving at the right pace between the both of you. It's reciprocal. They definitely feel like you're someone they could spend the rest of their life with and have a long-term relationship with. They definitely see what strong compatibility you two have together. Okay, you've got the Empress. This is beautiful. So the Empress and the Emperor has come up in this reading, which is really something special. This indicates there's a soulmate twin flame connection for some of you. That is the person you're supposed to be with. This is the person that's fated to be in your path. The two of you will come together and have a beautiful relationship, possibly marriage as well. And it's almost like you'll be a power couple. So I'm not sure if you'll have your own successes together, but you're coming up as the Empress for them. So you're coming up as someone who is their sun and world. Look at this. It doesn't matter what gender you are because the Empress is seen as a female. But look at this wonderful sun behind her. It's almost like they'll see you as their sun and moon, their sun and stars. They'll really, really praise and idolize you. They'll really put you on a pedestal. You need to give them a chance. This person could even be around you now, Taurus. It could be some sort of obstacles to get to this person, but should you just pursue it a little bit, you might start to see glimpses of what could potentially be between the two of you. You're definitely someone that is very much the center of their world. They feel important when they're with you. They place a lot of importance and priority on this relationship. A very strong attraction as well, not only sexually, but mentally, emotionally, just a very strong compatibility. Possible Aries as well that's coming through because this is the sun, what looks like a massive sun. So I'm going to go with Aries. But they'll definitely hold you in very high regard, Taurus. This is someone that has a very beautiful respect for you and wants you very much a part of their life. And it's up to you. I feel like the ball is in your court. I really do. Let's see how you'll feel in the relationship. Okay, the Tower card. There could be setbacks in this relationship or setbacks in feelings about how you'll feel about them. There could be periods where you feel really connected. There could be periods in the relationship where you feel very disconnected and you feel like things are falling apart very quickly. And this can happen very suddenly. This could be that there is a major shakeup in this relationship where the two of you are together, or it's almost like you'll be working towards building a very strong, solid foundation, which I think you will be doing. We can see the pyramid here. And it is quite solid, but the tip of it has just been struck by lightning and, you know, two parties are falling down here. So something could come in and really rock the boat here in this relationship, especially for you, Taurus. It's almost like you feel like you're working towards the peak, and then something sets you back here with the Tower card. It could be someone else that's coming in, whether it's around you or whether it's around them. But I feel like it's coming more from you. So if anything, it's this notion of the ball is in your court, and the only setbacks will come with you. So you'll be initiating the setbacks, not them. I think it's probably internal with the Tower card, because from their side, I think for the most part, there is a lot of loyalty. However, I'm wondering if there's someone that will come into the picture, and then this will sort of make you a little bit jealous or make you feel somewhat threatened. If the Two of Wands does represent choice and options, it could be two different people coming in around them, and this might not sit well with you with the Tower card. There's also a possibility an ex might come back for you, Taurus, in this time when you're in a relationship with this person, and that's why it's very sudden and it's very quick as well. Or it could be a personality trait. This person that's coming in for you could have certain habits that will be self-sabotaging to the relationship. It could be clinginess. I mean, they do see you as their sun on their world. It could be, too much in the relationship, a bit too much clinginess as well. This might, throw you off a little bit. Okay, the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands is, the energy around her is beautiful. This is fertility. This is a wonderful collaboration. This is lust. It's fiery energy. You'll definitely see this person, whether they're a female or a male, you'll see them as someone that would be very, very good with children. It's definitely someone you're crazy about sexually, and they're quite arousing. Their body, their demeanor, their looks, the way they are in bed. This is something you'll very much enjoy, because I think they encompass a lot, Taurus. They're quite sensual, yet they're quite fiery. Could be quite adventurous in the bedroom, quite open-minded as well, highly sexual, I think. But this you will definitely be loving this aspect of them, because it almost takes you to another world. It's that good. But with the Queen of Wands, it's someone that you see, that's the way you're looking towards them. There's fertility in this relationship, and whether that means the two of you might have a child together, whether you're on the same wavelength there, and you're both wanting the same thing, children and a family, and building that happy family home. With the Queen of Wands, you're definitely seeing this person can give you this family, can give you children, because there's fertility. As I said, it could be in the form of actual children, or it could be that this relationship undergoes a lot of milestones, a lot of anniversaries, and things like that with the Queen of Wands. So there's a lot of movement, which is good in this relationship. Okay, Four of Chalices is coming up, and this is how you see them. I think there's definitely you having your guard up about this person for some reason. The Four of Chalices is seen as, traditionally in this deck, it is seen as the wrath of the priestess Nekhbet, and she's seen as the ladies of the two lands. And it's almost like there's a duality to this person. So there's a side to them that you won't necessarily like, or it could be self-destructive to the relationship. This does speak about duality, because the goddess of Nekhbet ruled Upper and Lower Egypt, the two lands. So there's duality. It comes back to either this person is represented by twins, possibly a Gemini, or this person has a lot of duality, maybe Piscean energy, because we have the cups here. In their chart, there's sort of fickleness, and I don't know, it could be you, Taurus. If it's not a Gemini, or it's not a Pisces, or someone with sort of like this Virgo dual energy, I feel it's you that will be on the fence. Not that you'd be on the fence, but I think when you see a different side to this person or this relationship, it's either a dynamic or a shift takes place in this relationship, Taurus. You will be seeing this person in a different light. And this is what I think might throw you off a little bit. It could be a tendency of theirs. It could be a habit. It could be something they have done in their past. It could be just who they are as a person. But there's a certain side you don't like seeing, and it doesn't help this relationship. But look, you're definitely manifesting each other on some level. So you're definitely attracting each other. They're attracting you, they're manifesting you. The Six of Cups is bringing the two of you together. So this is karmic energy. This is the universe that's bringing you two together, because right now your frequencies are aligning. Just remember, you're attracting this type of person and these kind of energies because you're sending this out. So it's coming back to you. I think for the most part, they are a very trustworthy and a very lovable person. And likewise, they're able to offer you a lot of love and affection. But I just think from your side, something isn't going to be sitting not quite right about this relationship or this person, another side to them. So, but look, I hope this has been insightful for you, Taurus. It's been an absolute pleasure.